Welcome back. The University of KwaZulu-Natal Center for Creative Arts presents its 22nd annual Time of the Writer Festival from the 13th to the 16th of March 2019. The Writers Gathering allows audiences, budding authors and literature lovers a chance to encounter some of South Africa's most notable writers in some wonderfully curated, up-close and personal meetings. Now, South African journalist and novelist Nick Mhlongo joins us now from our Durban studios to share more. Nick, it's always great to have you on the show. Thanks so much for making the time to come through. This year's theme for the festival is centering the indigenous. I know you're part of curating what is going to be happening this year. Can you let us know what this theme means and how it will be incorporated throughout this festival?
Thank you, Pearl, for having me, and it's such a pleasure to be here. Talking about Time of the Writer. I think the theme actually it's inspired by what has been happening in South Africa at the moment. Like, for instance, the Rose Must Fall movement, decolonization movement, what Abantu is doing, what Abantu Festival is doing. So it's more about focusing on us as South Africans, as writers and as Africans, so that we talk about our issues. More especially issues around publishing, issues around our own languages, and other issues that are very much important that should be talked about in South Africa at the moment.
Now, so guest writers have been invited, of course, to share just some of their experiences and be involved in the workshops that will be run at this festival. What other roles are they going to be taken on?
The writers actually are going to be talking about those things about self-publishing. For instance, we have Dudu Busang Dube, who is one of our best-selling self-publishing authors. So she's going to share with us those things. We have, for instance, Sfiso Mzobe, who has just translated a book, a children's book. So he's going to tell us about those kind of things. And then we have Lerato Mokhwantle, for instance, talking about issues of traveling around Africa. She's going to share us around those things. And then we have Sunyati, for instance, whose book is called Gold Diggers. It talks about, actually the main focus of the theme is migration. It's the book that actually will help South Africans to understand their continent and also the issue of migration, how important it is and how we should tackle it. Looking at the South Africa, what's happening at the moment, we got things like xenophobia. Perhaps if people can come and listen to her, they might want to, they might get into the rhythm of getting the country out of these challenges of xenophobia, and also because migration is all the things that are happening around the world. Actually, you hear about Brexit and whatever. What they're talking about there is just migration. So we just want the people to come and listen to her, for instance, and other writers who are part of this exciting edition, 22nd edition.
And Nick, how important would you say this platform is, especially for aspiring writers who may not necessarily know the ins and outs of what it takes to be a published author?
It's actually, that's the aim. We have to tell our stories. And there are many people that have got stories out there, but they don't know how to publish. As I'm saying, like, for instance, yesterday, for instance, I was just walking around and somebody recognized me and said, how can I become I'm a writer, but I've got many manuscripts at home, sitting at home. So I invited them to the Time of the Writer because I know that is the forum in which we are going to be discussing those kind of issues in details. And we have publishers and self-published authors who will take you through their journeys so that those manuscripts that are sitting at home can see light at the end of the day. So it's there's a forum of it on Saturday, on the 16th of September. We dedicated the whole day actually around the issue of publishing, self-publishing and publishing and being published. So it will be very much exciting. And another thing, it's a chance for people to get to talk to their authors. People read our books. It's a time that they can just put a face, to whatever they've been reading. So it will be an exciting. I encourage everyone to come, not only here around Durban or KZN, but everywhere in South Africa. And I know of people that are driving, as we're speaking, to Johannesburg, from Johannesburg, just for the festival, because it will be exciting. It has very great authors, as I mentioned earlier.
Nick, you fast have become one of the most celebrated local authors. You've enjoyed quite a lot of success in the work that you've been able to give to people. You're also going to be part of these workshops. I want to find out what it is that you will be sharing with the aspiring writers. What is the core of your message?
Most importantly, I'm going also to the prisons, to like Westville prison, to talk also to inmates. I'm also going to the schools. We are going to the schools. And the important thing about this festival is that it will be around the communities, like the Bluff and in other communities, whereby we'll be going to the libraries. So it will be happening in the where the people are. You know, so it is, I'm going to be sharing with them my journey through writing, and they might be having some of the questions as to how do they go about being published. So it's, as a published author, for instance, I think it will be an opportunity and an honor for me to tell people about different publishing houses that I know, like we have Blackbird, for instance, we've got Shara Books, Shara Publishing. Those are the publishing houses that people don't know, I mean, outside the mainstream publishing houses. We got Gecko Publishing, for instance. We got Sizwe Publishing. People don't know about these publishing houses. So it's some of the people that are coming here will have information about those kind of publishing houses. So I think it's more important that people come because we don't have a chance in most cases to answer each and every email. Like, for instance, people asking me on emails what they can do in order to be published. So here they are having not only me, but many writers that they might have read or they might want to read. So it will be exciting.
All right, Nick, thank you very much for your time. That's where we'll leave it for this morning. And do enjoy and immerse yourself in everything that will be happening at the time of the writers. Pretty sure a lot of aspiring writers will be learning a lot from Nick and those 12 other South African authors that will be there. The opening night of the 22nd Time of the Writer will, of course, take place at the Elizabeth Snedden Theatre on Wednesday, the 13th of March at 7 p.m. The event is free and tickets will be on a first-come, first-served basis. We just spoke to South African journalist and novelist Nick Mhlongo about the festival.